in comes in Phil Spencer, the newly appointed head of Xbox, who would go on to restore all the confidence lost in the Xbox brand.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
With Phil Spencer at the helm, Xbox set out to tackle every single problem that besieged it. And one by one, in a generation spent almost entirely striving to rectify its problems, Xbox got its foundational hooks in place and ready to fight back stronger than ever before.
Funny thing happened, Microsoft has rebounded in the last few years with a new strategy and a bunch of new studios hard at work on games.
Oh,
so
weird.
That's what people want.
Sell a console.
Yeah, it's made a bunch of positive moves, encouraging features like cross-play and accessibility that have gotten praise from a lot of gamers like us.
We rise.
That's right.
To the top.
So yeah, despite all odds, Microsoft is bouncing back, and it's in surprisingly good shape going into the next generation. We think that's largely due to the work of one man.
Only one guy.
One man stands against the darkness. Phil Spencer, saluting you like we salute America, Phil.
We do love Phil.
We're gonna look at basically how he brought the Xbox back from the brink of disaster today.
Oh wow, and Xbox.
I want to speak about somebody in the games industry that has been a powerhouse, a very important figurehead, Phil Spencer. And this has been in the pipeline for quite a while, but I've wanted to talk about Phil and how he's redirected Xbox, and I've never really ended up getting around to it. And now just seems like the perfect time because we're on the cusp of Xbox Series X. We've really gotten time to see kind of how he works with the Xbox team, what his plans were, what his vision is, and kind of how he leads that team and leads those efforts. And so now I think is the perfect time to look back at kind of the moves he was making, kind of understand what he dealt with as a leader and kind of the situation the Xbox brand was in at the time and kind of where it is now. So,
brand as big as Xbox is led by disciplined roles with experience in marketing, software, and community trends. No one has been more center stage and out front, quite like Microsoft and Xbox's Phil Spencer. With a contagious smile, humble, bashful demeanor, and an underlying confidence that comes with decades of experience, knowledge, and industry with a pulse on the needs behind and within the gaming world. Phil Spencer's effect on the video game industry is far-reaching, trend-setting, and also disruptive in many positive ways. This is a look at the Phil Spencer effect.
You see a lot of conversation, of course. I want to praise you and the team for really elevating the PC side of this Xbox ecosystem. I think we've seen a lot of great strides in that. But when you see the community talk about the console side of things, do you think you've lost the focus or maybe put too much onto the PC side? Do you think that the console is still getting the console love that it deserves, whether it be the homepage update, achievements, of course, looking forward and using the power of this next gen? Do you think you guys have lost that focus, or is it still there, and can we see more love on that side?
Well, we'll definitely continue to focus on making our console experience as great as it can be. I like the homepage refresh and some stuff. I will say, this might be disruptive as well. We have a different vision. You know, Paris talked about this. It's play the games you want with the people you want anywhere you want. We want Xbox to be something that people who buy our console can feel like they're a member of. Obviously, who are playing on PC, who are playing on cloud, that they feel like they're full members of our ecosystem. Game Pass players can play on many different devices, and we remain fully committed to that. We're not in the business of out-consoling Sony or out-consoling Nintendo. There isn't really a great solution or win for us. And I know that will upset a ton of people, but it's just the truth of the matter is that when you're third place in the console marketplace and the top two players are as strong as they are and have, in certain cases, very, very discrete focus on doing deals and other things that will that kind of make being Xbox hard for us as a team. That's on us, not on anybody else. Our vision is that everybody who's on console has to feel like they have a great experience and they're a first-class citizen. They've invested a ton in our platform. But we are not in a position, and I see it out there. I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true that if we go off and build great games, all of a sudden you're going to see console share shift in some dramatic way.
How did we change so fast? How did we see a lot of Xbox fans talk about how Phil Spencer saved Xbox and how the future of Xbox is at its brightest? Just for 2 years later for Phil to come out and say, hey, we can't beat PlayStation, we can't beat Nintendo, we gotta do different things and stuff like that. Today, we will go over the reality of Phil Spencer. We'll go over the reality of what he actually brought, but we're gonna do it in a way to where I don't say much. And we just let Phil be Phil. And you will see, since hindsight is 2020, you will see where the lies came in. But at the same time, I will be pointing out little facts that you may not have known. Today, we'll go over every single E3 appearance by Phil Spencer. And we will see if his words during these times warranted him being the savior of Xbox. Or was it just all lies?
Since 2013, niggas told me to wait, told me it'll be cool, sick, it'll be straight. Wait to E3, Phil got us, I swear he gon' turn it all around, Xbox will be great. 7 years later, still holding out hope, folks praying to the gods cause they wanna see change. Looking out the window, watching all their hopes and dreams go huffing and puffing and bursting in flames. Patiently waiting, I waited for nothing. They cancel more games than they put in the oven. You cowards are sheep and you swear that you gamers. Praising this nigga for constantly fronting. Blaming Diabetric, but he was the realest. He told you the truth, but you got in your feelings. Now how do you feel when you look in the mirror? He sold you a dream like a couple of children. Who are we kidding? You knew it was business. This dude is a liar. Look at his eyes, his crooked smile and his wicked vision. Gave you the X but had nothing to show. Bragging about power, I flashed by the Pro. 4.2 was greater than 6, and that don't make sense, you son of a bitch. No one wants an Xbox. Nope. It don't matter the services or T-flops. Nope. You can keep that little Game Pass, we good, bruh. If you ain't focused on games, then what you good for? Nothing, nigga. No one wants an Xbox. Nope. It don't matter the services or T-flops. Nope. You can keep that little Game Pass, we good, bruh. If you ain't focused on games, then what you good for? Nothing, nigga.
You see, today is a special episode. It's a very long episode. But it's a very interesting one. It gets you to understand the views of what's truly going on and how it went on with Xbox. We get to answer the questions on how many times has Phil Spencer lied flat out. We get to look at the direction of Xbox from beginning to end with Phil Spencer. I'm going to show you when he was part of corporate, but still doing E3, to then the lead of first party, to then the head of Xbox. And you won't believe just how much damage he did to the Xbox when he first started.
Please welcome the corporate vice president of Microsoft Game Studios, Phil Spencer.
In Microsoft Game Studios, our mission is to create blockbuster franchises and experiences that cannot be found anywhere else. Our platform is synonymous not only with blockbuster games, industry-defining multiplayer, and epic storytelling, but also with industry-defining graphics. Unforgettable characters like Marcus Phoenix, Master Chief, and Sam Fisher have broken into the mainstream, proving that blockbuster video games are an integral part of today's pop culture. And this is our biggest year ever, with our teams delivering exclusive franchises like Halo Reach, Fable 3, Crackdown 2, and many of the games you're about to see this week. We are passionate about investing in and delivering blockbuster games. We are also creating new ways to play with Kinect for Xbox 360. You choose Xbox 360 and Xbox Live to play exclusive experiences that you cannot find anywhere else. So from this point on, everything we show you today, every single game, every single demo, and every single experience is available only on Xbox 360.
And what better way to start than with a partner who will continue to help us define the future of Xbox 360. Ladies and gentlemen, Cliff Bleszinski.
You see, right there, you just seen a very green, very new Phil Spencer. And he fumbled the message a little bit, but you can't blame him for that. It's extremely difficult to get in front of a group of strangers and get every line right. And yes, the teleprompter was there for him to read, and he was reading it, like, obviously, right? But still, the message of Xbox was blockbuster games, something that they say is antiquated today. The push to be better, to bring out more big hits. And it was always this push. And mind you, this is during the 360 era. This is their most successful era. And the look of it is starkly different than what we got now, but still. Seeing Phil Spencer come up on stage and talk about that has become antiquated within itself. Just watch closely and listen to how much the message has changed from then to now. But what a lot of people don't know is that the damage that Phil Spencer caused Xbox started before the Xbox One. You see, the 360 had a phenomenal run. In fact, the only part of its run was the last 2-3 years of its lifetime. That's when games started losing focus on what gamers wanted. They started pushing the Kinect. And guess who was in charge of the Kinect?
Please welcome back to the stage, Phil Spencer.
With games ranging from Kinectimals and Kinect Sports to Your Shape Fitness Evolved and Dance Central, you can transform your living room from a petting zoo, a track and field stadium, an exercise room, or a dance club. And all of this with the magic of Kinect. Today, I'm pleased to announce that Kinect for Xbox 360 will launch worldwide this holiday, starting in North America on November 4th. When Kinect arrives in stores, we will have a broad lineup of more than 15 launch titles. And remember, Kinect for Xbox 360 is fully compatible with the 40 million plus Xbox 360s that we have sold to date. This is just the beginning. We're thrilled to announce an exclusive arrangement with LucasArts to create a Kinect for Xbox 360 game. LucasArts and Microsoft Game Studios will bring the heart of George Lucas's extraordinary vision to living rooms around the world. Here's a trailer featuring actual controller-free gameplay that shows what you can expect next year.
So Don Madrick assigned Phil Spencer to do the Kinect job because he got tired of jumping around. And Phil Spencer wasn't going to have that jumping around stuff either. He was a G in that way. He ain't never tap danced for nobody. I see it. But he did push it. He did push it, but at the same time, he was in charge of first party. And so therefore, a lot of the first party games had to reverb what they were actually doing to fit the Kinect and the Kinect's needs. And for the next 2 years, all he talked about was the Kinect. And for those 2 years, the first party on Xbox 360, it struggled. So bad that he had to take Kinect games away from the Kinect when it started failing and put them on the Xbox One because he didn't have his first party developers ready for an Xbox One launch. And there's plenty of interviews of Phil Spencer talking about the Kinect. I mean, here's some clips if you don't believe that.
Continuing to innovate with Kinect. Kinect feels like a new platform to us. We just launched that in November. And you see the capabilities of the platform continuing to evolve. It's a big focus for the organization.
Microsoft showing off the Kinect, it's a hands-free system. And I'm joined now by Phil Spencer, who's Microsoft Game Studios Corporate Vice President. Thanks for joining us. What are the big things at the Microsoft booth that people should be looking at?
Well, obviously for us, this is the year of Kinect. Kinect is a great evolution for us, controller-free gaming. We're showing the experiences here on the floor. People are having a ton of fun with it. It's going to ship this holiday.
Obviously, with the emphasis on Kinect, we could assume that Kinect's going to be involved in Halo now.
No announce on Kinect and Halo, but you did see Kinect show up in a ton of places on our stage, which I thought was really strong. A lot of core franchises supporting Kinect in unique and different ways, and I think the creators just continue to evolve that.
Making Kinect relevant for the hardcore was obviously a key goal for you guys. Do you think you accomplished it?
Well, the core will tell us. That's the nice thing about the core. I love the lineup. Third party stepping up is always a good sign, right? First party, we're always going to go first with our technology, but to see like Mass Effect, Ghost Recon, to see Eve stand on stage, all future Tom Clancy games supporting Kinect, those are great points. For me, looking at what Crytek has done with the Rise game, I thought it's fabulous.
Same language, same push, same enthusiasm that he has had with the Xbox the entire time. The man has not changed his losing formula. The Kinect failed. It sold big off top and dropped off a cliff bigger than the red rings of death. And he was responsible for it. And for some reason, Microsoft, pushed him forward. But still, let's go on to the next E3. Like I said, I'm going through these. These are each year after year after year. And he is still pushing the Kinect. But not only that, he snuck in a couple of little tidbits of the future about its aspiration in media.
Microsoft Studios, Phil Spencer.
UFC on Xbox shows how this industry is transforming television by adding interactivity and your friends to the experience. And with thought leaders like UFC and ESPN and partners who recognize the power of interactive TV, Microsoft Studios is leading the way in changing the very definition of entertainment. But at our core, Xbox will always be about games. Games you can't find anywhere else. Whether it's controller-based games, all-new Kinect titles, or experiences that take advantage of both, we deliver better entertainment for everyone. And from this point on, everything we show you, every single game, every single demo, every single experience is available only on Xbox 360. It's only fitting to start with the franchise that has defined this generation of games. It's a game that more than 1 million people have pre-ordered, and it's the biggest exclusive on any console this year. Ladies and gentlemen, Gears of War 3.
In just his second year doing E3, they already let him start introducing their heavy hitters like a Gears 3. But that didn't stop them from making sure that after Gears 3, that the Kinect was talked about, because back then the Kinect was the highlight of the show. It wasn't a game like Gears 3. Gears 3 should have been the finale. But no. This was the finale.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Phil Spencer.
A year ago, an indie game came out of nowhere to become a worldwide hit. With a growing fan base of millions who create their own worlds and explore those of others, Minecraft proves that a great idea can become a success. And this year, you'll get to experience the infinite possibilities of Minecraft combined with the magic of Kinect. I'm thrilled to announce that Minecraft is making its console debut this winter exclusively on Xbox 360 and Kinect. Last year, Kinect transformed how we experience games and entertainment. With tens of millions of games sold, Kinect gave rise to new blockbuster franchises. This year, we're building off that success and delivering the next wave of Kinect innovation. And now, the world's largest entertainment brands are imagined in an entirely new way with Kinect. We begin where memories are made. Today, I'm excited to announce a collaboration with Disney. This first experience from the partnership is Kinect Disneyland Adventures. We are bringing the magic of visiting Disneyland Park to millions of homes around the world. The team has faithfully created the entire park for your family to explore. From Main Street to Sleeping Beauty's castle, relive all your favorite Disneyland memories. You can hang out with beloved Disney characters. You can even create your own souvenirs and share them with your friends on connectshare.com. And with Connect, you experience timeless Disneyland attractions like never before. So let's take a look. Let me introduce Carly and Tyus to take you on Peter Pan's flight.
Look, it's Peter!
Follow me!
Whoa, look at those mermaids! Dark waterfall! Whoa!
You doing? You're not getting dizzy, are ya?
Watch out for the columns!
The Connect went on to sell 35 million Connects, and that's a success in some way. But it sacrificed first-party game development. And so the last 2-3 years of the Xbox 360's life was at a standstill simply because their first party was too busy ruffling around with the Connect technology that they wasn't familiar with. Not to mention that Microsoft invested so much money in a third party. That Disney game, Asobo made that. That wasn't even a first party game. Microsoft published it though. Not only that, it was a licensed game with Disney of all people. You know how much Disney charged? I mean, it's not like it was just like one character, like a Spider-Man or a Blade. No. You had to pay for licensing of every caricature that was in that Disney park, and it wasn't even really a game. Peter Pan, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, his uncle, them 3 little badass duck kids. Everything you had to pay for. So Lord knows just how much that costed them, but they were willing to make that investment because they sold 32 million Connects. Same thing with Star Wars. Disney didn't even own Star Wars back then. That was Lucas still. So that's a whole nother license that they had to pay for. And so their first party suffered. And the Xbox fell off from there. It was a success in the beginning. But when everybody got a hold of it and saw how much that thing didn't work, people dropped it. Phil Spencer was the main guy pushing the Kinect to be bundled with the Xbox One. Ultimately, he took it out, but hey, he had to. He wasn't selling. Nobody wanted a Kinect. But let's continue. This is the year that Microsoft promoted Phil Spencer from corporate vice president to head of first party. I don't know if that's a promotion or a demotion, I don't know. But his title changed.
Ladies and gentlemen, the head of Microsoft Studios, Phil Spencer.
At the very heart of Xbox are great games. Whether it's blockbuster franchises you simply can't find anywhere else, or highly anticipated games from the world's best publishers, only the best games are on Xbox. Beginning with the return of Master Chief in Halo 4 and the bold new direction for Fable the Journey, this will be the biggest year for games on Xbox. And great games start with great studios. Every day, I have the pleasure of working with some of the world's best development talent. Studios like 343, Lionhead, Turn 10, and Epic Games. These are the creative forces behind our biggest franchises. Today, we're providing a new glimpse at an action racer, one that combines the legendary authenticity of Forza Motorsport with a festival atmosphere and the freedom of the open road. But first, let's start with a world premiere trailer for the latest addition to the Gears of War saga. Here it is.
So due to the focus on Kinect, its first party suffered. And some of the biggest games were games that they didn't even own in the first place, like Gears of War. And it still was Judgment. That still had to go through him. That was the worst Gears. Likely because Microsoft didn't want to pay. And so these games still came out. Forza Horizon came out. Great game. Right? Great game. But it was a racing game. You know? And I'm not saying that he's the bad guy in all this. I'm just saying that we need to actually understand the perspective of Phil Spencer and how his views shift more towards things that Xbox gamers never wanted in the first place. But still, let's continue on the second half of the show.
In this generation, we've seen the creation of games that have defined genres, reinvented online gaming, and pioneered new ways to play. As you've already seen, we're taking the franchises you love in bold new directions. But we're also investing in new stories from some of the industry's most creative developers, studios that will transform content and gameplay for fans around the world. Whether it's from one of the newest members of the Microsoft Studios family, Twisted Pixel, or the visionary director of Pirates of the Caribbean, these creative minds will take us to entirely new worlds. The next 3 titles are all world premiere exclusives. Let's start with the newest release from Signal Studios, the team behind Toy Soldiers. This game delivers persistent asynchronous multiplayer gameplay using Xbox Live to connect players across Xbox 360 and Windows Phone. This is Ascend New Gods.
Ascend New God, a game made to work with Windows phones and consoles, Xbox 360s. This was the last year of the Xbox 360. You know what PlayStation did in their last year of the PlayStation? They put out The Last of Us, bro. They put out Puppeteer. They put out Lost Soul Aside. They put out blockbuster games to end the generation while Microsoft was too busy pushing other ventures, and Phil Spencer was the face of it. Phil Spencer was the face of other ventures of Xbox. He was the lead of first party, and he was the face of other ventures. And the Xbox 360 didn't veer off until he took that role. Well, then how did he do with the Xbox One? Because now, this year that I'm about to show is the next year from this, and is when the Xbox One was first revealed.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Phil Spencer.
Welcome to the new generation of games. Everything we show you from this point forward is being created for Xbox One. As the head of Microsoft Studios, I've never been more proud of the games that we have in development. Microsoft is investing more than ever in studios around the world to create new and original games. And we have more titles in development now than at any other time in Xbox history. We've joined forces with the world's top publishing and development partners of all sizes to bring you the best games and exclusive content built on the technology in Xbox One. That includes blockbuster franchises, new IP, and yeah, the classics you've asked for. Let's start by taking a look at one of our new franchises now, a visually stunning game that uses the power and performance of Xbox One to put you in the middle of an incredible period in history.
Which was Rise, right? It was Rise, Son of Rome, which was a Kinect game that was converted into an Xbox One game, right? And Phil Spencer was in charge of first party, and they didn't really have a good first party launch. A lot of their first party games that came out were mediocre, other than Forza. Forza was like the number one first party game that they came out with. Rise was by Crytek. It was a Kinect fighting game that was by somebody that was trash. Killer Instinct, I believe, was made by a third party company as well. Like, he shoveled out a lot of third party money. Had that Walking Dead game, Dead Rising, and a couple of others, but they were like third party games. Sunset Overdrive was in the woodworks, but that wasn't coming out until 2014. You know, these consoles came out in 2013. They came out a year later. And so while he was making deals and doing all that, he wasn't prepared for a launch of the Xbox One. And then with all the drama, it became even worse. And so they had to make up for all that drama, the TV stuff. And so they had to kind of change their tune and start apologizing to gamers for being so dumb and fumbling the ball as much as they did.
Please welcome the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to E3. It's an honor to be with you today. Let me start by welcoming the fans here with us in Los Angeles and the millions of fans watching us around the world on the web, on Xbox Live, and on Spike TV. I'd also like to recognize the developers here with us today, developers working to bring their creations to life and deliver them to the world. This week, we share a common purpose with our friends at Sony, Nintendo, and the developers and publishers in our industry. That purpose is to showcase the passion, creativity, and potential behind the fastest growing form of entertainment in the world, games.
So you see, this is where Phil Spencer starts his demon time. This is where Phil Spencer starts to say a lot of white lies in order to win back the populace that they lost in his whole Connect little project that they were doing. The whole TV project that they were doing. They didn't think gamers would react the way that they did. And so now he is acting like he's feeling guilty, but he acting like he heard you. From now on, you're going to hear a whole lot of how much he heard you, right? Because he had to hear you because his boss got fired and he got his boss's job. And he was a part of the same message that his boss was doing. In fact, he was part of the whole thing. He wanted the whole thing to go off the way it went off, being on all screens and talking about TV. But he had to change the game and name drop PlayStation and Nintendo. They're number one rivals, especially at this time, to say, hey, we are aligned with them. We are focused on games in a passionate way. Yes, sir, we are. Please forgive me. I just have to put that in there to show just how much of a white lie that was, because around this time they were plotting to get Nintendo and they were doing whatever they could to get Sony either outspent or outdone in the first place. It just is what it is, they have that same passion, but let's just see how much passion they actually had.
And we're here together at an incredible time in our industry. With the launch of 2 new consoles in the last year, this generation is off to the hottest start in history. This renewed interest and excitement benefits everyone: creators, publishers, console manufacturers, and especially gamers. On behalf of the entire Xbox team, I want to personally thank you, the millions of Xbox One owners around the world. We've been humbled and amazed by all of your comments, ideas, tweets, but most importantly, your support. Your feedback showed up in the console we launched in November and in the monthly updates we've delivered since. You are shaping the future of Xbox, and we are better for it.
Remember that. You, the gamer, are shaping the future of Xbox, and Microsoft is better for it. Better for the input that you are giving them, and the only thing you said is, what the fuck is this TV stuff? But still, they say, oh my God, we need to focus on video games all of a sudden, but let's just see how that turns out. Well, we kind of know, but let's just really go over how he handled it. Let's have a refresher, because a refresher, it always helps.
Today, we're dedicating our entire briefing to games. Our goal is to make Xbox One the best place to play games this generation. First, I want to show some of the great games coming to Xbox One in 2014, and later in the show, we'll announce some of the new games coming to Xbox in the future. The lineup is diverse: huge franchises, new IP, independent games, and maybe a few of my old favorites. Gamers are helping set the future direction of Xbox. And our friends at Activision and Sledgehammer Games are doing the exact same thing with the best-selling franchise in Xbox history. From the first time I saw what Sledgehammer Games was working on, I was truly inspired. In every sense, this game raises the bar for the next generation. I'm proud to open our show with what I believe is the beginning of a new era for this franchise. And once again, I have good news. Xbox owners will be the first to play all of the add-on content. Here's the first look at Call of Duty Advanced Warfare on Xbox One.
Man said that he was inspired by Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. We should have known it was an issue back then, because if you're inspired by a third-party game that's doing a futuristic version of Call of Duty, even though when they made that Call of Duty, they kind of ignored what Call of Duty fans want, you still wasn't listening to the fans. You were just talking in a way fans want to hear. Because fans didn't want a Black Ops. Fans didn't want a Advanced Warfare or Infinite Warfare. They just wanted Modern Warfare. It's like the voices of gamers still went over your head, but because you said it, right? Because you said it, we felt as though you were the savior of Xbox. Rightfully so. We had so much going on with the Xbox that finally somebody is mentioning games, because that's all the fuck we wanted in the first place, was you to mention games. You dedicated that E3 to games, and it's like, nigga, it's supposed to be dedicated to games and only games and B games. Why TV? Make a side commercial on that. But everybody took that as an amazing statement. It was amazing to, dedicate your E3 to games and to have the same passion that PlayStation and Nintendo got. Only after there was this big catastrophe, and still had left remnants of that catastrophe in the Xbox. But still, just thinking about it today just boils my blood, because that's bullshit within itself, saying that you're listening to gamers. But still, let's continue with your message.
Please welcome back Phil Spencer.
The Halo franchise is the reason Xbox is here today. Halo launched the original Xbox, Halo launched Xbox Live, and Halo was a cornerstone on Xbox 360. Now, the Master Chief Collection will allow gamers to experience the entire Master Chief story only on Xbox One. You'll be able to play everything you've just seen on Xbox One this holiday. These games represent just a handful of the many games you will see this year. In addition to our holiday lineup, we are also investing in new IP, familiar franchises, and continued investment in Xbox Live. I'm excited to share a selection of our games from our 2015 portfolio and beyond. I believe these games highlight the breadth, depth, and diversity of our gaming portfolio. Let's start with the game from an incredible studio. Their first game was one of my favorite games of all time. It debuted on Xbox 360 and went on to win Game of the Year honors. This is a first look at what they have been working on for the last 4 years, and it will debut on Xbox in early 2015.
Now, that first party lineup was phenomenal that year. That year, they had a phenomenal first party lineup, right? And that game that he was announcing just now at the end, that was below people who made Limbo, below fantastic game. So, as amazing as that lineup was, let me read back that lineup to you. One of them was Sunset Overdrive. It was Phil Spencer's best move, if you ask me, because he took it away from PlayStation. Sony was acting a little funny towards Insomniac. Insomniac, like, we want to own the game. They was like, all right, well, then they can talk to somebody else. Phil Spencer came in, signed him, got the game exclusive, got the publishing rights, and history is made, right? Great pickup. Forza Horizon 2, also a great game. Forza Horizons are fun games. Crackdown 3 was announced, but that shit didn't come out for 4 years after that. Quantum Break, mediocre game, kind of trash if you ask my opinion. Ori and the Blind Forest, probably the best game announced out of all the games that was there. Killer Instinct, a great game that they turned into a service game for some fucking reason, but then they had these super bangers that they ended up canceling. And Fable, which got canceled, Scalebound, which got canceled, Project Spark lasted 3 months, got canceled, and then Phantom Dust also got canceled. What was clearly the best Xbox showing at E3 since Halo 3 was diminished because half of the games that they announced at first party or second party, well, they were canceled. And so it left a gigantic gaping hole into the future of Xbox itself. You were talking about how you're going to push gaming and gaming is important and games this and games that. And it's like some of these didn't make sense to get canceled. Fable Legends had a damn beta that people were playing and they canceled it. And what's sickening about that is that Phil Spencer, back when he was head of studios, one of them that he was head of was Lionhead Studios. And he talked to them the day before he shut down their studio and canceled their game and didn't tell them anything about shutting down their studio or canceling their game. In fact, he talked to them about the future and how bright it looked. Phil Spencer was so snakish towards his developers that they even lost trust in him. And when they let go of Lionhead, the way they let go of Lionhead, that part was insane when you think about it. Same thing with Scalebound. If you were for the gamers, especially if you were trying to get the Japanese gamers to get on, you would have put extra effort into making sure these games came out. Instead, you let Crackdown 3 cost you way more money with all the Project Hell, all the different developers that worked on that game. You instead came out with Crackdown 3 over Scalebound. Project Spark, I can understand, but that was supposed to have Conquer in it and all that, and people wanted that, and people were surprised when that got canceled. And then Phantom Dust, something else that there has a large cult following that you canceled flat out. But your message earlier was how you have passion towards video games, and people didn't hold that accountable. With Scalebound, he said that there was too much anticipation from the public, from Xbox gamers, and that's why he canceled it, because it wasn't going to meet their expectations. But then you let Crackdown launch. It was then where I knew personally that, this ain't that guy. Simply because he made it seem like he had all this passion behind these games, and yet he really didn't have any. Because there was no reason why the richest company in the world who can afford to have Disney games on the Kinect get rid of a Scalebound, get rid of a Phantom Dust, get rid of a fucking Fable. Of all things, Fable. And got the nerve to try to re-announce it now. But let's continue, man. Let's continue with these lies.
Please welcome back Phil Spencer.
Platinum Games and Crackdown. It's great to see those games on our stage. Yeah, Crackdown is coming back. I said you'd see Crackdown when we had the right team to build the game. That team is led by the original game creator and a friend of mine, Dave Jones. It was great to have him on our stage today. Today, we showed you 90 minutes of games and shared our commitment to make Xbox One the best back. I said you'd see Crackdown when we had the right team to build the game. That team is led by the original game creator and a friend of mine, Dave Jones. It was great to have him on our stage today. Today, we showed you 90 minutes of games and shared our commitment to make Xbox One the best place to play games this generation. We showed you that this holiday, the best place to play games is on Xbox One. But this is just the beginning. We will continue to invest in bringing new creators to Xbox One. We'll continue to bring you new features to ensure that Xbox Live is the only place where you and your friends will be able to play the most anticipated multiplayer games of the year: Halo, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Destiny, Forza, Sunset Overdrive, Battlefield Hardline, and more. We will continue to listen to you, our community, and will continue to make Xbox for you. That's not just my personal commitment, but the commitment of the entire Xbox team. Thank you for making your voice heard, and thank you for helping us shape the future of the new Xbox.
Big promises, big commitments. Telling you that you have control of the future. Telling you that this is for you. This is about you. Shut the fuck up. It's about you. Nothing else. No one else. It's about you. How many of y'all asked for a rental service? Right? How many of y'all even had that idea? How many of y'all said y'all wanted to play on every device, that you wanted a phone version, a PC version? Wasn't y'all fighting over the PC versions of these games, going to PC? Was he listening to y'all, really? Was that really a choice? How many PC gamers was like, hey, I would like these games on PC? How many? You see, they were already putting games on PC. Like, that's not a new thing. That's what they've been doing, but they started taking their games day and date to PC. They started playing with that. And then that's when you started seeing the chinks in the armor of exactly how much they actually listening to you. Like, what are they doing? Like, everything that they've done, they've always done towards the business outside of gaming, or try to expand it and make it outside of gaming. The Kinect itself still had Kinect stuff going to PC. Like, there's a new Kinect. There's the Kinect 3, you know, like, that never came to consoles, but because the Kinect was never made to be on consoles, this is the same time they had stuff like Project Nathal and all of that stuff that never came to the Xbox in the first place. Literally making it feel like you made choices, making it feel like they were listening to you. They took your feedback. How many of y'all asked for some goggles that cost $2,000 that never actually came out to play Minecraft? How many? So many hefty promises, so many things to tell you to make you feel good, sweet nothings, ultimate wingman shit. And y'all fell for it. This was about the time that everybody else who didn't fall for this bullshit was saying, hey, there is an issue here. There's a lot of talk and so little action. This is about that time. People were looking for Scalebound. People were looking for Fable. People were looking for these games. And when shit started hitting the fan, so did the message.
Ladies and gentlemen, the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome. Investing in and shipping new exclusive franchises is critical to our platform's success. We're proud to partner with Inafune-san, Mark Pacini, and the teams at Concept and Armature Studios to create Recore, an exclusive new first-party franchise for Xbox One. At Xbox, our mission is simple: to put you, the gamers, at the center of everything we do, to build the best platform and most reliable service for both gamers and developers, and to enable teams to push the boundaries of creativity, technical innovation, and of course, fun. Today, you will see how we're continuing to invest and innovate for gamers across our platform, our service, our devices, and of course, our games. Anchored by first-party exclusives, we'll see a lineup of games from creators, developers, and publishers of all sizes that show the breadth, depth, and diversity of the games you will get to play on Xbox. These games make up what I believe is the greatest games lineup in Xbox history. Since the launch of Xbox One, we've listened to you, the community of Xbox gamers, and we're grateful for your continued feedback. We continue to deliver monthly platform feature updates that enhance your gaming experience, and your response to the updates continues to motivate us. Last year, the team decided to tackle a feature that has been consistently at the top of your request list. And while we weren't sure it was possible, today, I'm pleased to announce Xbox One backward compatibility. Your Xbox 360 games, the games you've invested your time and money in, and the games you want to continue to play will be playable natively on your Xbox One. Our goal is to deliver the largest games catalog ever on Xbox. And Xbox One backward compatibility allows us to do just that. Please welcome Mike Ybarra, head of our platform engineering team, to show us Xbox One backward compatibility in action. Mike.
Thanks, Phil.
You see, people were asking for backwards compatibility. PS3 didn't have backwards compatibility at the time. Nintendo had backwards compatibility with the Wii U. Full, true backwards compatibility. And Microsoft did not. So Microsoft went and told a lie about backwards compatibility because they didn't make these games backwards compatible. Backwards compatibility means that these games would have worked on the base Xbox One from the 360. They made these games forward compatible. They couldn't make the system backwards compatibility because you already had it in your living room. They just called it that because that was the popular term to call it. But in reality, it wasn't true backwards compatibility. If it was backwards compatibility, you would have every single 360 game working in backwards compatibility. They still play with backwards compatibility today. They still act like you can play these games natively backwards compatibility today. You can't. They haven't finished they stopped the program of backwards compatibility in the current gen today. In the early of the first year of the Xbox series, they stopped backwards compatibility permanently. I believe it was the first year. Within the first year, I know that much. And it's because they had to pay for this program. And they charged you an arm and a leg for these games that they got permission because they almost had to, because they had to get permission from these people to get their license to alter their software. They had to alter the software to work on forward consoles, on new consoles. Had to make them compatible forward. The Xbox One didn't change itself. It didn't change anything. The only thing that changed was the software, and that's why they were rolling it out. And they started rolling it out and feeding it to you, drip feeding it to you, acting like these were actual launches. So as Phil kept canceling games left and right outside of E3, it started making it to where Microsoft's library of games started to become smaller and smaller to where it started to not matter. And so Xbox gamers were waiting for E3, and that's when that whole meme of wait for E3 started to come up. Because Xbox stopped being about the games as he promised, and it started to be about him. People were more excited to hear the sweet nothings that he would whisper in their ear every E3 that they would wait till E3. And every E3 got worse and worse and worse. Meanwhile, the competition was having murmurs of PS4 Pros and Nintendo Switches, and games were coming out, and Microsoft had to think of stuff, and they were doing Game Pass and starting to come up with that, and they had that thought in their mind, and Game Pass was really just a service to play your old games. So they kind of doubled up on backwards compatibility and Game Pass, and it just started to get crazy. But how did Phil Spencer respond on every E3? Same way he always responded.
Thanks, Mike. Now, how you play is as important as what you play. We're incredibly proud of our Xbox One controller, but whether you're a console gamer, a PC gamer, or both, we know many of you want more. More customization, more precision, and more control in your gaming experience. Let me introduce you to the Xbox Elite wireless controller coming this fall.
The Elite controller was a great idea, but it started the whole controller craze on top of not having games, on top of backwards compatibility, and how Xbox fans had to kind of cling to this stuff when they shouldn't have had to cling to it. But Phil Spencer was good enough, smart enough, slick enough to make the populace rely on what he had to say about different things. And remind you, this is also around the time where he started saying that single player games were low-key trash, right? That they were played out and it's all about the multiplayer game. But still, he persevered, he moved on to the next show, and he survived through this not by luck, like by sheer wit and charm to where he charmed these Xbox fans to ignore all the issues and just say, wait till E3, we're going to get something good probably one day, hopefully.
Welcome back, Phil Spencer.
It's great to have Gears of War back on our Xbox stage, to see Gears of War gameplay running real time on Xbox One, and to see my friend Rod Ferguson at the helm. Today, we showed you the greatest games lineup in Xbox history. New and innovative games that speak to the boundless creativity from studios around the world. Blockbuster franchises you know and love. Trailblazing independent games from a new wave of creators who are redefining game development and gameplay, all anchored by the best exclusives on any platform. Xbox is the only place where you can play Gears of War, Fable Legends, Forza Motorsport 6, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and of course, Halo 5 Guardians all this year. This lineup is supported by Xbox Live and our commitment to make your gaming experience better. With an expanded library of games with backward compatibility, new gaming hardware and accessories, access to great games first with EA Access, next-generation virtual and mixed reality gaming experience, and access to games in early development with the Game Preview program. There truly has never been a better time to be an Xbox gamer. If you've been waiting to move from your Xbox 360, now is the time. Today, we've shared only a fraction of what's coming to Xbox One and Windows 10 this holiday and next. We have more surprises in store this week on the Xbox Daily Show, including the unveil of a whole new Xbox One user experience and more new games coming to Xbox One. This summer, we look forward to bringing exciting features from Xbox Live and some of our most popular Xbox games and experiences to Windows 10 when it launches this July 29th. And at Gamescom in August, you'll see the latest from Quantum Break, Scalebound, Crackdown, and new first-party game reveals. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's your expectation, your dedication, and your passion for games that motivates and inspires not only me, but every single member of Team Xbox. Thank you.
You're inspiring to him. That's the message that he gave. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Listen, I told you all we was about the games, right? We gave you backwards compatibility, a new controller. You know, we showed you Crackdown, but we're not going to tell you that Crackdown is in trouble. We showed you Scalebound. We're not going to tell you that Scalebound about to get canceled. We showed you Fable. That's about to get canceled. Project Spark already got canceled by then. I think it got canceled that same year. But it kept going and going and going and going with the same exact thing. And Xbox fans fell for it. Xbox fans wanted something positive. They needed something positive. They didn't want to hear negative Xbox news. That became a thing where they would start their shows saying positive Xbox news here. It got to the point to where they celebritized him so much that he became invincible on the things that he said. Everything that he said was right. Everybody else was wrong. Whatever moves Microsoft was making, Phil Spencer had said it. He led the way. Phil Spencer's name is in the article. It's on the title. They're going to click on it. He got a video interview. Click on it. Everything that he was saying. Oh, it's the facts. Oh, it's what gaming is doing. It's where gaming is going. They gave Phil Spencer, one of the biggest liars in the gaming space, more power than he deserved. Then it came to the point to where he needed to start hurrying up and announcing hardware because PlayStation 4 Pro, it's looking like a real thing. And they needed to scramble to hurry up and take the attention away from the people they say they have the same passion for, their friends across the street, like he said in that one E3. He needed to hurry up and try and undercut them and attack what they were doing and then copy what they were doing, but they were late to the ball game, as usual. And so the next E3, they started talking hardware.
The head of Xbox, Phil Spencer.
Good morning, everyone. We are pleased to welcome the new Xbox One S console, the smallest Xbox One yet, to the Xbox One family of devices starting this August.
But we'll talk about the shift to teraflops and the Power Saga and the Series S and X Saga on the next episode, which will air tomorrow. Don't trip. It's all done, but it's too long. Far too long. I got little finishing touches to do the other one, so I might as well just do them one day at a time. That way I can get some views. No, I'm just kidding. But we do got to get to the bottom of the exact reason why.
No one wants an Xbox. Nope. It don't matter the services or T-flops. Nope. You can keep that little Game Pass, we good, bruh. If you ain't focused on games, then what you good for? Nothing, nigga. No one wants an Xbox. Nope. It don't matter the services or T-flops. Nope. You can keep that little Game Pass, we good, bruh. If you ain't focused on games, then what you good for? Nothing, nigga.